Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I'm going to show you through the Blossoming Bouquet stamp and stencil set from Tonic. This was one of their Cyber Week launches and I'm just getting around to using it now and I'm going to share it with you. So first of all, we've got the stamp set here, and it's a 6x8 stamp set. That's A5, and it's got some beautiful flowers, gorgeous butterflies, and then lots of lovely sentiments there. That could be used on its own. It doesn't necessarily have to be used with any of these stencils that were launched at the same time, and I think that would be really beautiful if you coloured those flowers in alcohol markers or pencils or watercolours, or even if you heat embossed them, it'd be really beautiful. So now we'll move on to the stencils, and this is the lovely layering stencil set. So we've got an area of foliage up the centre here, we've got roses here, daisies here, and these can be masked off, so you can put the foliage on first of all onto your card or your paper, and then you can stencil these on top. So you can use all roses the whole way up there, or daisies, or you could use a mixture of both. But that again would be really lovely if you inked through it, or even if you use some of your embellishment mousses or things like that on it. Would be just slightly different and really beautiful. Next we have the lovely layering stencil set. So you can see this one comes in two halves, and the bottom half would be the one that you would use first, and you would ink that or do whatever in a paler shade, and then move the stencil over and use this area on top. But I'll be showing you how to do that in just a moment or two when I start making some things. And lastly, we've got the layering lily set, and this actually has three pieces. So this one has the background lilies here, and they could be used on their own, but ideally what you'd be doing is inking these in a paler shade and then stenciling this one exactly on top of that, and that will then give you, obviously you'll have removed this set and set this one exactly where that one was, and this will give you the detail on top, and it will also give you some foliage. But you could use this one to draw around and give yourself the outline there. And then we've also in this one got a set of masks as well, so that fits directly in there, and it means that you can stencil on these little stamens in the centre, or you could actually put this on to, they remove from this carrier sheet, and you could use these to ink around the outside and leave this plain and give yourself a totally different look altogether. So don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, to do that and hit the notification bell, and if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment to let me know what you think. Now I'm going to nip off and get some card and inks and different things, and I'll be right back and we'll just get started making something. I've put my stencil onto some white card, so I'm starting off with the lily ones, and I've got the stencils all ready to go here. But I've set it onto some white card and put this onto my magnetic sheet here, and these little magnets are holding it down. The only reason that the black card is there is just to stop that glare. But I've picked out some lovely pink, it's Panama Rose, and then I've got some exotic orchid ink to use on top of this. I'm going to use my little brush, that's one of the little Nuvo ones, and I'll start off with the Panama Rose, and I will brush that all into here first of all, and then I'll move on to the exotic orchid, because the darker sections will be in the next stencil, so that will be with this one. And then I'll move on to this one. Now I'm not too worried that this is going on the outside here, because I have made my white card bigger than the stencil because I'm going to trim it in the end. And then I've picked out some dried oregano and a small, very small fine brush to go in here. Now I could have masked that off, and it probably might have made a better job because I see I've actually got some purple in it, so bear that in mind whenever you're doing yours, but I'm going to go over this with this little fine brush now anyhow. Those colours are gorgeous, aren't they? Really, really exotic looking, and actually I think that where this colour blend happens is actually quite nice. So I'm going to add these on here because I want to do the little stamens in the middle, so I just want to pop that on there, and I can hold that in place with the magnet as well, and just do the same with the other two. I thought the centres of these might be really, really nice if I did them in gold embossing powder, so I've taken my clear mark ink pad and I'm just going to make sure that I have all those areas covered with that, and then we'll pop some embossing powder onto that in a second or two. Now I've cut that down and cut it to size, and doesn't that embossing powder just really make that pop in the centre there? It's really beautiful, and I really love those colours. I've gone ahead then and just trimmed that down slightly more with my decal edge trimmer and put some pistachio green card below it, and then I've put it onto an A6 card, and you can see there that I've actually just trimmed the top and bottom with my trimmer as well. And I don't think I'll put a sentiment on that one yet because, well, actually just because I really like the flowers and I didn't want to cover them up yet, but there it is. I did really like the colours that I used in that last one, so I'm going to use them again here. And I've set this stencil down this time, and I'm going to mask off these areas so that I can do the foliage first and not get those in. So I'm going to cover them with a little piece of card, and that way it will not get ink on any areas that we don't want. I thought that was really, really delicate, and I didn't really want to add too much more to it. I think I might actually add a couple of crystal drops around here now when I see it, but maybe not. In the meantime, anyway, I have used this Fancy Footwear Frames die set, and I know some of you have already got that, and I layered the I cut it out, sorry, first of all with one of the ovals from there, then I actually layered it on top of another one and then put it onto this absolutely gorgeous thing in Water Sprite holographic mirror card. And isn't that just so pretty? That all those greens have a sort of a pink tinge to them. You can see it as I'm moving it around there, and it tones in really, really beautifully with the inks in the stenciling. Now this last one is actually done just in a similar kind of way because we've got the detail here and the background here, and I'm just going to lay that onto my card and mask off that top part while I stencil the bottom part. Now I've trimmed that one down and added some pistachio green card behind it as well, all trimmed with the decollage trimmer as well. And I want to cover these little dots. I could leave them in that colour, but I've got some of this Magnolia Bloom aroma drops, and they're really, really beautiful. They not only look beautiful, but they smell beautiful, and I'm going to add them. I don't really want to cover the dots with them, but I want to put them just off to the side so we can see a little bit of that in behind. Next I want to use one of these beautiful stamps, and there's so many really lovely ones there. There are swirls and butterflies and then lots and lots of lovely sentiments and flowers and whatnot, but I've picked out this beautiful one here and I'm just going to stamp that and then I'll colour it. I went ahead then and made a really, really simple card with that, because sometimes simple cards are just really pretty as well. I tend to always make quite involved cards, but I actually like this today. Very, very simple, but very, very striking. So I hope you like this. Now, obviously these are all of the cards that I've made today, and they are all sort of on a theme. They're all with this set, but they're all sort of similar colours, and they're all very, very plain, I suppose, in a way, maybe except this one. But I have actually been experimenting just a little bit. This is one that I just made with the same stencil set, and it's quite simple. It's very like this one, except that I have used the roses in the centre this time and instead of this one, and I've actually used embellishment mousse. I thought that was really, really lovely. I put it on with a spatula and it really stands out beautifully on the black card, sorry. And then I put this white around it there, and that is absolutely gorgeous. So just look, two totally different cards made with the same stencil except in different card, and then obviously this is the roses and this one's the daisies, but aren't they so beautiful? Now this other one is the one that isn't actually for posting just yet, but I'm going to show you it anyway because I really like it. It's very, very different, but I have used the butterflies from the stamp set here. So you'll see them just here, this long row of butterflies, and I coloured them in orange and black. And then I used this beautiful die with the background one, and a little hello from a different set there, and that is a really striking card. Now it's not colours that I normally would use, but I really, really liked it. So I thought I'd better share it with you as well, because it's really using some of these products as well. Well, I've finished and I hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to do that and hit the notification bell. There's a lot of things there to see, a lot of ideas as well, so you can let me know which of them you prefer and which of them you'll try. Stenciling is a lot more affordable than die cutting, and you can see here that I've used dies with these ones, and I have gone ahead and used dies with these as well. But if you want a really simple card, you can go ahead and just make it with a stencil and some inks, or a stencil and pencils as I've used in that one, inks in this one, and a little embossing powder. And you don't even have to use the fancy edge that I've used here with the decollage trimmer. So it's a very, very affordable way of making really beautiful cards as well. Stenciling, that is. So that's the end. I will have links to all of these products down below. They're all my affiliate links, so I will get a little commission from them, but it won't cost you anything extra. So I do appreciate it. If you haven't already got them and you want to buy some of these stencils, feel free to have a little look down there and see what you think. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.